I could start maybe by asking you quite a general question from a consultant point of view, what are the kind of areas that you look at that you consider when you design a new project where fire safety is concerned?
The main problem is always in the hot kitchen. It's always going to be there. The rest of the areas, you might need some fire suppression in general areas, but under the hoods is the number one thing that you got to look at.
I personally think that the risk of fires mainly is because the wrong use of the machines, and not just about the design or the planning how a kitchen. It's really high where we have oils and fats, and of course even in places where we have chemicals. Totally still underestimated our fires for laundry, in laundries and in stores.
There is obviously a degree of education involved in this, and you must see that as well, Mark, from your point of view as a manufacturer.
Anybody that has any touch points with the system itself, there's high turnover in restaurants, so we certainly have to make sure that the end user is fully aware of what the system is for, how to use it when it's needed.
William, when you talk about speaking to clients who don't even have to have any kind of fire suppression installed, I mean, how much of a surprise is it to them?
Big time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you convince clients and they expend a lot of money on a system and then they never service it. So it's a big issue. Not only the installation, but to maintain them.
We talk about there's a lot of damage to building, to equipment, but Mark, really putting in black and white, what kind of damage does it look like in figures, in money?
One location was about a $2.5 million loss, and not to mention the loss of the assets, but they were out of business for 9 months. So how do you put a price tag on that, you know? So we don't want a fire suppression system. It'll never happen to me. That's a paradigm that we have to really educate through.
No, I mostly work in the elderly business. Some people cook for themselves, so they need to be aware of the fire risk, and also the staff. There's a lot of pressure on the people who work in that kind of environment.
I would say in the last 4 or 5 years has been a big change in the way people are starting to cook. For years it was open fires. In later years it's more related to combi ovens.
You know, the days of the kitchen is always in the back room is kind of gone today. Everybody wants to see, you know, like the showcase kitchens, right? So we have to make our systems fit better in today's environment, but yet perform when they're called upon.
Keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
Anton, in your part of in your market segment, what kind of changes have you seen?
We have a lot of gas in the Netherlands, but we stop pumping up the gas next year for 66%. So we're going to get it abroad because the grounds are sinking in the Netherlands. So that will be in the Netherlands a huge change all over.
If we can have a help from the industry like ANSUL give, this is a good answer.
How important are food service consultants to your work, and how closely do you work with them?
Ideally, they're the link that brings it all together, right? They're having the communication with the end users. They have that vision. Hopefully, if there's anything that is challenging in the design phase or just negotiating where we're going to go with this concept, we're brought into the loop for the conversation. Like I always say, every conversation is relevant because you always find out something new about something. So if you can just have that voice that you can, you know, that person that you can ask some questions to, that's key.